Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Your Icing Wrong, the search for the best sole sauce. In today's episode, I'm going to be comparing Fabe sole sauce to the coveted Salon 40 volume cream. Let's get down to it. Welcome back, guys. I know that we've had a little bit of a gap between the last formal Your Icing Wrong video, but I'm happy to say that we're back in full force today with this pair of Jordan 6 UNCs. This pair of Jordan 6 UNCs has been very heavily worn, and taking a quick look at the bottom here, you can see that they are pretty severely yellowed. As we take a closer look at these kicks, you can tell that they have definitely seen better days and that they have been worn with a lot of love. They are in need of much more than a de-yellowing, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you guys the process of getting these soles back to a nice icy look. As per usual, I'm going to be using the gold standard for most icing projects, Salon 40 volume cream, on the left shoe. This is more or less our control shoe. On the right shoe, we're going to be comparing Fabe sole sauce to see if there's any sort of major difference between Salon 40 volume and Fabe sole sauce when it comes to icing the bottom of these Air Jordan 6s. The first step of any sort of icing project is to make sure that these soles are as clean as they possibly can be. So let's get into a deep clean real quick so we can start to apply the sole sauce tonight. To clean the soles of these kicks, I utilize a standard sneaker cleaner as well as my Dremel Versa tool. My Dremel Versa is one of the best cleaning tools that I've ever utilized before and substantially speeds up how fast you can clean the soles of your kicks. I also utilized a magic eraser to help get some of the deeper grime off of there, and overall it probably only took me about 10 to 15 minutes to clean the soles of both of these shoes. I also utilized a metal pick to help to get all the different grime and pebbles out of the sole of the shoe. Now that these things have been cleaned off, let's take a closer look so you guys can see the difference between the dirty sole and a now clean sole before we get into the actual icing process. Honestly, these things cleaned up a lot better than I expected them to. I thought that they already looked pretty clean as they were, but there was quite a bit more dirt on there that came off pretty easily with a quick scrub down. These kicks, after cleaning them for a solid 10 to 15 minutes, are definitely well prepared for the icing process. Now that you guys have seen these kicks nice and close after they've been cleaned, it's time to get to the icing process. So let's go ahead and we will apply our sole sauce. So on the left shoe, we use Salon 40 as per usual. For a 4-ounce container, it costs $12. A 16-ounce container is $20.35. And for a 32-ounce container, you can get it for $26.19 all on Amazon. For Fabe sole sauce, which we used on the right shoe, it's $14 for a 4-ounce container, $23 for an 8-ounce container, and $40 for a 16-ounce container. Here we are, about 48 hours after throwing these Jordan 6 UNCs into the ice box. It's time to wipe them down, get the old sauce off of there, check out the differences after 48 hours, and then I'll apply a new layer of sole sauce and we'll put them back in the ice box for another 48-hour session. So as per usual, after every single icing session, I do wipe down the kicks and get all of the excess sauce off of there. I find that if you leave old and dehydrated sauce on the kicks, there is a higher likelihood of them losing traction during subsequent icing sessions. You can see that I even use a Q-tip to get all the sauce out of the different craters of the soles of these Jordan 6s here. Now that I've gotten these Jordan 6 UNCs all cleaned down, let's take a closer look and see what the results of this icing session were like. So taking a quick look at this pair of kicks, flipping them over here, and obviously that left shoe is the one that we treated utilizing the Salon Care 40, and overall I would say that that shoe is actually looking pretty darn good. These yellow spots on the pods here have seemed to lighten up pretty substantially, and they're looking real solid. The heel portion is also looking really good and a lot lighter than it was before, as well as the forefoot portion. Now, as far as if one of the sauces did a better job, honestly, it's kind of hard to say. Up here in this front portion, I would argue that this right shoe is a tad bit better than this left shoe. And then potentially over on the lateral sides of the shoes, I think that this section may be a little bit lighter on the pair that was treated using Fabe Soul Sauce. In the back here on the heels, it's pretty comparable from side to side though, quite honestly. Now that you guys have gotten a closer look at these Jordan 6 UNCs, it's time to apply the second coat of Soul Sauce and let these go into the icebox for another 48-hour session. Let's get into that process. One of the things that I did notice when applying the Fabe Soul Sauce versus the Salon Care 40 is that Fabe Soul Sauce is a little bit more viscous and a little bit more thick, which means that it's a hair easier to control while you're actually spreading it on the shoe. However, it is still a pretty liquidy substance, which means that you do need to practice spreading it with care so that you don't get it on the uppers of the shoes. Overall, I don't think that it's substantially easier to apply than the Salon Care 40, but it is a hair easier to apply than Salon Care 40 Volume Cream, and that's one thing to keep in mind when you go to make your purchase. Here we go! It's been 4 full days that these Air Jordan 6 UNCs have been in the icebox, and we are finally about to see the results of how the Salon Care 40 holds up against Fabe Soul Sauce. Let's take a closer look and see exactly what these results are looking like at this point in time. Before we even take a closer look, I do want to mention that you guys saw me wipe these things down and take the Soul Sauce off of the kicks. However, you didn't see me actually wash them, which I did with a sneaker cleaning solution and some warm water. Now, looking closely at these kicks right here, left shoe again was our control shoe, which was treated with Salon Care 40 Volume Cream. And I gotta say that looking at these shoes next to each other, both of them have de-yellowed significantly. It's really hard to give an edge to either one of the products, but overall, I think that I would have to give it ever so slightly to the Fabe Soul Sauce. I think that these upper pods are looking just a bit more iced out, with the upper quadrant looking just that hair bit better. I would have to say that the Fabe Soul Sauce does just ever so slightly better after 4 full days in the icebox. So obviously the video for these Jordan 6 UNCs is ending off a little differently than I had previously anticipated. I had a little bit filmed that basically said the shoes were looking good, Fabe Soul Sauce maybe had a slight advantage, but I thought that both of these shoes would probably benefit from another 48-hour session in the icebox. So there you go. After 4 full days of icing, I'd have to say that there's an ever so slight edge in favor of Fabe Soul Sauce. I think that with a little bit more time in the icebox, that they might look even better. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them one more 48-hour session. Now, that was 2.5 months ago. I never got around to filming the final product of what these things look like. So what you guys are now seeing on screen is actually what these kicks look like 2.5 months after the initial work was actually completed. Both of the shoes definitely look a lot better than where we first began. I don't know that I would give an edge to either the Salon Care 40 or the Fabe Soul Sauce after this long of a period of time. I think that both the shoes are looking pretty much the same. Neither of them seem to have lost any sort of traction. And I would say that if this was a typical result, then I would probably be leaning towards Salon Care 40 just because I would save a lot more money because I get a lot more bang for my buck. Now, that being said, I don't know if there's going to be any differences in the traction over time or if the yellowing is going to come back quicker. Preliminary testing shows Fabe Soul Sauce and Salon Care 40 Volume Cream seem to work equally as well. If you guys enjoyed what you saw today, I'd really appreciate it if you took the 5 extra seconds to click the like button as well as the subscribe button. Both of those things only take a quick click with your fingertip. Quite honestly, it goes a long way in helping to support the channel, which allows me to produce more content like this for you guys in the future. If you guys are curious to see any of the other stuff that we got going on, make sure that you check out the website at www.sailboatsupplies.xyz. And if you're into the day-to-day type of stuff, definitely make sure that you tap in on social media at Sailboat Supplies. As per usual, I appreciate everybody that stuck around until the cold, bitter end of this video. You guys already know, I'm Sailboat, and I'm out of here.